rest of the top 6. Marcos Ruda, don't forget he had a great result here in the ETC last year. I think he was a race winner actually in Valencia. And then there's Mario Aggi in 7th place, Super Mario.
Julian Garcia, those are 2 riders that were involved in the crash in race 1. They're trying to make sure now that they're able to score some decent points out in front.
Oh!
Julian Garcia make up the front row of the grid once again. Has now had his first Moto2 podium. He's trying to make his way through the field to attack once again. Steve English and Kiko Giles bring you the action in the Moto3 class. And Kiko,
watch this and have lunch, and I don't say that very often, so this is going to be dramatic. Moto3 always is. Lots and lots of best career results in the class. All the way down the field. Massive improver in the first race, unspeakable at the fact he's going to have to do this in pit lane, and we know it's all over before it's even begun.
12-lap race in the Moto3 Junior World Championship. Danny Holgado on pole position, and as the lights go out, Holgado makes a better start this time, but still not as good as Diogo Moreira. Moreira on the 92 able to make a very fast start. That's Clement Rouge just fanning out to the left-hand side on the 45. But for these riders in the run down in towards turn 1, Moreira's going to try and hold on that lead. Ivan Ortola on the 24 tries to get down the inside. He's up into 3rd position now from 5th on the grid. A few riders running themselves out wide, but certainly right now we've got Moreira, Holgado, Ortola, and you can see now it looks like trying to make sure he makes up for that disappointment of what happened at the end of the opening race of the day whenever he got boxed out a little bit, came away with points, but would have thought he had a chance of a podium. He's now got that opportunity once again. The back of this group, it's the other Munoz that's gone down, and he's taken down the 64 David. It was Daniel that lost it initially, and David Munoz, both races.
Look at that, anything you can do, brother, I can do a bit better. I hope he's okay. At the front, Diogo Moreira and Daniel Swan.
Yeah, for the Munoz, they've now going to have to try and wait until the next round in Catalunya to come back, but you can see here for the 66, Joel Kelso immediately trying to come back through on Jose Julian Garcia. Those are 2 riders that were involved in the crash in race 1. They're trying to make sure now that they're able to score some decent points out in front.
No chance of it now!
And you can see there once again, it looks like it's Alonso and Kelso out of this one. Kelso race and Gerard Riou as well, so it hasn't been easy for them. But at the front of the field, Danny Holgado once again trying to make it look a little bit easy. He's been able to find his way to the front. Diogo Moreira had his first podium in the opening race of the day. He's got a bit of confidence about himself now. Ivan Ortola on the 24 looks like he's got quite a bit of speed right now. Wants to make amends for what happened in the opening race of the day.
You know what on earth he was trying to look at the state of that front fair. And Joel Kelso for a 3rd race now, he's going to be without points. A disastrous start for the Aussie. Just cannot catch a break. He's limping, but he's up and okay-ish.
He's a David
crash or just a run on, but whoever it was very, very wide. I'm trying to look down the order, don't know who it was, but really big mover. It's David Salvador. That is incredible. From around row 6, I think it was Ivan going down on your right-hand side. Holgado leading comfortably as well. I mean, he's under a little bit of pressure, but he's got no problem leading from the front, Steve. This is what we've seen him do time and time again. He's very, very comfortable. That won't be very good as we're able to take them weeks off, reset and come back strong. We know he's going to be fast, and it's just a matter of getting points on the board now. We said it during that red flag period as Diego Moreira tries to go through Cardo. We said it in that red flag period, Steve. It's just about Kelso, he just needs to score some points and build from that. This front group have definitely broken clear, but Takuma Matsuyama was in this situation not just earlier on, but also in Estoril, and he did bridge the gap. It's seen him do this in race 1. He didn't hit the front with 7 laps to go. He was very patient in 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, for Moreira there in the lead, this is a key opportunity for him. He had never had a podium up until this morning's race. He had always had, we were inside the top 10, you had 1 top 5 finish. It's important for Moreira to hit the front and see if he's able to set a faster 2 KTMs or a gas and a KTM. They're the same bike, and it is a little bit of variety at the front once again in Moto3. We're into the second half of the race now,
and a TM in 6th place as well, Steve. All the 4 major manufacturers are right there, although Salvador is just a little bit off the pace. But yeah, Moreira, it's almost like he's started to believe I can do it. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it is almost almost like something
he needs to find just a little bit more time for that. That's Eddie O'Shea. We saw the crash in race 1, so hopefully for Eddie he's able
from
to...
a good qualifying and a good first race, is like, this is where I belong in this class.
Yeah, and behind that, Matsuyama's got that belief as well. You can see he's broken away from David Salvador. He's opened up a gap of about a second and a half to Salvador.
Meanwhile, it could be a carbon copy of race 1 here, with Holgado, Moreira and Ortola at the front. Of course, in 4th, it's Jose Julian Garcia. Now, he just needs a good podium position here. This is the 32. This is Takuma Matsuyama, one of the fastest riders on...
His first career podium earlier on today. Ivan Ortola, he was a pole setter and a podium man in the opening race of the year. He's under attack there from Jose Julian Garcia on the 20. Garcia makes his move into the 3rd, and Garcia needs to score some good points today because he's had some bad luck to start this season so far. You can see there Marassi crashing out of this race. He's again involved in the incident that brought out one of the red. He had a few crashes over the course as well, but now at the front of the field it is starting to stretch out a little bit here, Kiko. You can see Moreira trying to get down the inside into the right-hander, able to make the move clean, but that's a move that can be made all the way from quite a distance. Also for Danny Holgado with 4.5 laps to go, he's also not going to be riding that quite as aggressively as he would at the end of the race.
Yeah, but for Moreira there, he came from a long way back. I don't know if Holgado slightly missed the apex. Matsuyama, disaster. Moreira's still leading. Through comes Ortola, fighting back on Jose Julian Garcia, and makes a clean move there. That's a big boy move at turn 1.
Yeah, turn 1, around about 95, 100 miles an hour for these Moto3 machines, and certainly for Ivan Ortola, you can see that the gap is starting to stretch out at the front of this group. You've got to make sure that you're in the right position. It's a 4.
Matsuyama's gone. That's it. Where is that? At the 5th place. Is that up at turn 12?
That's going to be up at turn 11 probably for Matsuyama.
Oh dear, Hiroshi Oyama watches on. He's going to be weeping into his beer later on today.
He wants to have a chance to win this race.
Yeah, and the good thing for Ortola is, at worst, well, besides being taken out or crashing, he will finish 4th, and that's good now because he's not battling with a load of riders. He's battling with 2 riders who he was with earlier and knows roughly how they work, and Jose Julian Garcia, who's pretty clean. We've seen him make very, very clean passes so far. So Ortola shouldn't get too flabbergasted by the riders.
What's interesting though is Jose Julian Garcia has kept a very clean nose all the way through this. Hasn't looked to be making the moves like some of the other riders, Kiko. Does he have something? Does he have an answer to those riders around him?
I'm not sure if he has an answer, but he definitely feels like he's not rushing. He's quite confident. He's methodical in his ride. And then there's Mario Aggi in 7th place. Super Mario. Is he going to be able to put a move over that for a top 6 finish? Aggi, good start to the season, Steve. In Estoril, he was top 5, I think.
Yeah, not quite able to build on it here in Valencia. We've got 2.5 laps to go now for these. Certainly, as it is right now out in front, it's Danny Holgado from Ivan Ortola under attack once again from Diogo Moreira. He made that move a few laps ago, and
it's all about track position. It's all about momentum
towards the right-hander there to make the moves. But Moreira right now looks strong. He's been able to make quite a few moves over the course of this race. But once again, Danny Holgado just able to stretch his legs, get to the front whenever he wants to. But once you're down into the last 2 laps, Kiko, it really is a bit of a lottery.
Well, just keeping that steady flow without costing yourself too much time. Diogo Moreira is going to go to the front. There's nothing wrong with a Honda power in the slipstream there. And through comes the Team MTA KTM into 2nd. So Holgado back to 3rd. Through on the inside comes Ruda. That's for 5th place on Salvador. Good move there from Ruda. 4 abreast. Garcia is punting Holgado back. This is back to 4th place now. So he's got even more work to do. Moreira is out front. There's a little gap, but not so much, Steve. Great stuff here in the last 2 laps.
In race 1, we saw Danny Holgado have an instant in the final couple of laps. Had to come back through the leading group. He's going to have to do it once again now.
Good on the braking areas as well. Ortola didn't have a sniff there. Maybe he doesn't want to show too much of a wheel. A lap to go.
Yeah, Ortola doesn't have to show a wheel just yet. We've still got a lap left in this race. You can see now the slipstream really important. Holgado on the 96 really trying to use that toe from Ivan Ortola to move himself up into 2nd spot. In race 1, he went from 3rd to 1st on the last lap. He's gone from 3rd to 1st into turn 1.
Bit too much. He can't really defend into turn 11, and that's a passing opportunity because he's going to compromise his line.
Down the inside. Garcia, of course, one of the more experienced riders in the field. Powder dry all the way through this 12-lap race. The last couple of laps, though, he's been making some moves. Ortola's going to try and get down the inside into turn 8 because he can see Danny Holgado once again stretching out a little bit of a lead. We've got 4 riders in the battle now into the next right-hander. This is where it becomes really important to see who's able to make the moves. Holgado out in front, possibly with enough of a margin in hand now over over Garcia. You can see Diego Moreira once again able to make that move into the right-hander. All four riders up into the third position. It's Holgado still leading from Garcia. Ivan Ortola trying to answer into the right-hander.
Yeah, this is the battle we wanted to see. Oh, massive crash,
with
Moreira!
a huge crash that's gone out from the podium fights. And for Moreira, he's now going to have to, for the Brazilian rider, Holgado's got enough of a gap now over Garcia. And then it's Ivan Ortola in third position. Diego Moreira. But once again, we're able to see Danny Holgado come away with the spoils. And another race victory for Danny Holgado. 3 from 3 in the Moto2 Junior World Championship. Jose
Fighting for this championship. What a race that was indeed. And another win for the Aspar Junior team. Probably did hurt his right wrist there.
He's able to come away with his first podium in the season. Ivan Ortola.
Great Britain completes the top 10.
And as you can see for Danny Holgado, 3 from 3, just like what we've seen in the Moto2 class as well. Riders coming in and really establishing themselves. For Danny Holgado, and this was a very different race as well, with that red flag, a short race, but he was able to come away with the same result. Able to take that race victory by 0.3 of a second. Jose.